What's up? This is Nick, head coach of the Mount Silver Scythers, and today I've got to give a little bit of a recap before I start the battle between me and Ian of the Lake of Rage Ungodly Qwilfishes. So we had a disconnect in the middle of our match, so I think it was like 20-30 turns in, so maybe not that far, maybe only about 20. But we had a disconnect, and there were a few things that happened. A few Pokemon fainted on his side, so he had brought Superior, Zeraora, Kamao, Necrozma, Pyukumuku, and Ribombee. And at the halfway point where we pick up on this next part, all he has left is Superior, Ribombee, and Pyukumuku, because the other three had been knocked out. So, Zeraora had been knocked out by Toxicroak, I believe. I hit him with a fake, I think he landed on Toxic Spikes, so he was toxic poisoned because Beedrill had set up some toxic spikes, so he was getting worn down slowly. And then in the end, I think Toxicroak hit him with a bullet punch to take him out. On my side, I lost my Donphan, and I think he got taken down by Necrozma, but Necrozma also was heavily damaged by the, I think it was a Photon Geyser that almost one-shot my Donphan, but not quite, and I was able to get a bit of chip damage on him, and he was able to take some poison damage and then eventually fall to his poison. And then Kamao, he came out at one point, got poisoned by the toxic spikes. It was 2 layers, so it was toxic poison on him. And I don't remember who I had in, but I switched them out and brought in Tapu Fini, and Ian went for the Dragon Dance. So this put him at a +1 speed, +1 attack. And he went for a, I'm assuming it was Poison Jab, and it was with a Z, so Acid Downpour. And it brought Tapu Fini down to 5 HP. And then I was able to hit back with a Moon Blast to take him out in one shot. So it was very close. I almost lost Fini. Hung on by a tiny little bit. I mean, the battle disconnecting didn't really change too much. It set us both back to full health on all our Mons, and none of his were poisoned, and there were no toxic spikes up. But it did give me a 5-3 Pokemon advantage with everything at full health. So where we're going to pick up is 5 Pokemon on my side, 3 Pokemon on his side. Is a few more turns in this battle, but I'm going to start it up. So yeah, the first half of the battle, it's unfortunate that we lost it, but it is, I mean, it happens sometimes. So when we decided to re-up the battle, we decided we would bring out the Pokemon that were last out, which was Superior and Azelf, and it would go from there. So we would just bring in the same Pokemon that were out when the disconnect happened, and then we would go from there. So his Leviathan is out there, Buddy the Azelf is out there, and I went for the move I was going to use before we disconnected, a U-turn, because I know it would do some heavy damage. It would have killed Leviathan in the previous, like if the battle hadn't disconnected, or maybe it wouldn't have killed, but it would have done a lot of damage. And then I bring in Lancelot, who I had to Mega Evolve again, which is kind of unfortunate. Well, I mean, it didn't really change too much. But I do get glared here, which sucks, because now the fastest Pokemon, well, actually, no, because I did not have a Choice Scarf on Azelf this week. So he withdraws Leviathan, understandably, and he brings in I'm Scarfed, the Ribombee, which I don't believe was actually Scarfed. That is a lie. And Lancelot goes for the Mega Evolution again, so she's got that big ol' stinger that she's gonna get you with, if only she weren't paralyzed. So there's the first turn of paralysis, which sucks. But I'm not too worried, and he can get a Sticky Web up again. That was another thing that was important, that it was gone. But with the paralysis, it gave him that free shot to get me, and then yeah, I hit him with the Poison Jab, and it's going to show his Focus Sash, so not Scarf, but Sash. A very fashionable Ribombee, no matter which way you cut it. And then it goes for Moonblast, and it is faster since I am paralyzed, which really doesn't do too much. I resist it, and I'm just not too worried. And I'm fully paralyzed again, which again sucks. Like, it doesn't really change anything, but it's just annoying. So he goes for the Moonblast again, and he's dropping my special attack with those, so it doesn't matter. Which, like I said, does some damage, but now I can U-turn, get out of there, hit it for that 1 more HP to get rid of it. And then, since I know I outspeed the last 2 Pokemon he has, I'm pretty sure I bring in Azelf. Yeah, I bring in Buddy the Azelf because I know I'm faster than both of them. And I know if he brings out Superior, I can just U-turn and kill it. And if he brings out Kevin, I can just do something to it. I think I just U-turn again. Yep, U-turn. Yeah, that's one thing about this team with Azelf and Mega Beedrill. Those two just love to switch back and forth, and especially with the Alolan Persian with Parting Shot, they all love to just switch in and out. And now I can bring in my full health Pop-Tart, which is very nice. And he goes for Toxic, which that's not going to work on my Steel type, homie. And I don't remember. I think with this I just go for the Rapid Spin. Yeah, he withdraws. But at this point, I'm just like, nope, I got to get rid of that Sticky Web, especially because the Sticky Web setter is gone. So if I can get rid of it, I'm back at full speed. Even though it doesn't really matter, because anything that would be able to outspeed Leviathan can like Buddy These. I'll the only one who can outspeed it at this point since Beedrill's paralyzed. So Pop-Tart leaves because that's not the matchup I wanted to have. And then Young Dab, the shiny Toxicroak comes out. And he eats up this Leaf Storm because he has an Evolve. His Assault Vest is still on. It did get knocked off in the first half of the fight, so when we started up in the second part, he does still have his Assault Vest. So that is definitely a good thing for me. And then I just go for the free damage with a Fake Out on this turn once Kevin comes out, because there's no reason not to do it, especially since I know he has two Pokemon, and I'd like to poison both of them. So I hit him with the Fake Out. Doesn't poison him because they do have Poison Touch. He restores a little bit of HP. And then I'm like, we're going for that poison. Young Dab. Going for that poison on there. Some fat damage. And does get the poison. So I was like, alright, he's poisoned. And he does counter me, which this hurts a lot. But it doesn't kill me. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Might as well just go for it. Get another big chunk of damage on him because I don't know if he survives the second one of these. Oh no, I switched. I thought I went for another Gunk Shot. Guess I didn't want to lose him yet. So I go for Lancelot, expecting a counter, just because... Oh no, he does go for the Recover. Yeah, I was expecting a counter, so I was like, ha, I'll just shove that in his face and be like, bitch, you can't stop me. But now I know for sure I outspeed, obviously, because Kevin has like 5 speed. But he is pretty much at full health, so I don't think I really wanted to stay in. Oh no, right. I knew that he doesn't have... Pyukumuku literally does not have any attacking moves, so I'm just like, screw it, I'll set up some Toxic Spikes, so that when that Superior comes back out, it's going to get poisoned. I think I only went for 1 layer this time. I don't think I went for 2, because I didn't think I needed it. Yeah, so I just go for the U-turn, get some damage on him, and then I'm like, he probably went for counter again, so let's just bring somebody in to take this hit, bring in Young Dab, because... Oh yeah, he tries to fucking purify me, which that's some dirty shit. It would have cured the paralysis on my Beedrill, but it would have fully healed his Pyukumuku. Like, that was almost dirty, but didn't matter. And then I go for the Fake Out, trying to get some chip damage on him, take him down just a little bit. And he is taking more damage from poison than he is from... than he's recovering from his leftovers, so I could have just, like, thrown and gone for Fake Out, but I was like, nope, I'm killing you. I go for the Gunk Shot, and finally take out Kevin the Pyukumuku. And he is deadzo. And now it's literally just his Superior left, which I'm not too worried about. I know I can outspeed it. So I think I just leave Young Dab out here. Dab. Oh yeah, I didn't even go for a priority move. I think I just went for the Gunk Shot for if he were to try and do anything silly. But his special attack raises sharply, but I don't care, because I know I can outspeed with Buddy the Azelf. At this point, I don't think... yeah, it is, because it does just over half with the U-turn. So I just bring up Buddy. I'm like, alright, here we go. One more U-turn. Let's do this thing. So I go for the U-turn. That does just over 50% of his health, and he's just under, so that is enough to pick up the KO, and Leviathan goes down. So, like I said, unfortunately, we lost the first half of the battle, but not too much changed, because the way that things were set up before the battle ended, before it got cut off in the middle, I had 2 layers of Toxic Spike set up, and sure, he had the Sticky Web, but I still could have just brought in Pop-Tart and just spun him away with Rapid Spin. So not too much changed, but it happened. We were able to come to a conclusion of the battle in a nice way. And then next week, I face Greg of the Blackthorn City High Dragons, so we'll see how that goes. Toodles!